Imagine a world where access to quality education isn't limited by location or wealth. For decades, traditional schooling has faced immense challenges, leaving millions behind. But what if the very tech we use daily could unlock a new era of learning, democratizing knowledge, and fostering true critical thinking across every corner of the globe? We're about to explore how. It's December 20th, 2025, and the future of education is being written right now. Forget rote memorization and one-size-fits-all classrooms. Picture AI personalizing every lesson, VR transporting students to ancient civilizations, and global platforms connecting minds across continents. Get ready to discover how technology isn't just an add-on, but the core engine reimagining what school means for the next decade. What if the biggest barrier to global progress isn't a lack of resources, but a lack of imagination in our education systems? We're on the cusp of a revolutionary shift, where technology holds the key to unlocking human potential on an unprecedented scale. How can AI, virtual reality, and collaborative platforms truly bridge educational divides and prepare a globally connected generation for an evolving future? The answers might surprise you. Let's talk about the heavy hitter, artificial intelligence. For a long time, the holy grail of education was the one-on-one tutor. But scaling that for 8 billion people was impossible. Until now. The role of generative AI. Hyper-personalization. Imagine an AI that knows exactly when you're frustrated and changes its teaching style from text to video or game-based learning. Real-time feedback. No more waiting 2 weeks for a graded essay. AI provides instant critiques, allowing for micro-learning loops. Teacher empowerment. AI handles the grading and scheduling, freeing up human teachers to do what they do best: mentor, inspire, and provide emotional support. We're moving from standardized testing to continuous assessment. The tech doesn't just grade you, it understands your journey. Physical boundaries are dissolving. Through virtual and augmented reality, VR/AR, the world is the classroom. Why this matters for global equity. Virtual labs. A student in a remote village can conduct high-level chemistry experiments in a MetaLab without needing $500,000 worth of equipment. Empathy and history. You don't just read about the civil rights movement, you stand on the bridge in Selma. This creates a level of retention and empathy that a textbook simply cannot match. None of this works without connectivity. The next decade will see the completion of the global grid. With low Earth orbit satellites, a kid in the middle of the Amazon rainforest has the same access to the MIT curriculum as a kid in Boston. This is the true democratization of knowledge. So, if AI has all the answers, what do humans do? The education of the next decade shifts focus from content to capability. The new curriculum focus. 1. Critical thinking. How to verify information in an age of deepfakes. 2. Emotional intelligence. How to collaborate across cultures and digital interfaces. 3. Adaptability. Learning how to learn, because the jobs of 2035 likely haven't been invented yet. We are moving away from degrees that last a lifetime to micro-credentials. Blockchain technology is already beginning to verify these skills, allowing someone to prove their expertise to an employer instantly, regardless of whether they have a 4-year degree. The next decade won't be defined by the screens we use, but by the barriers we break. Technology is finally giving us the tools to treat every student as an individual and every location as a center of excellence. It's a shift from learning to work to learning to thrive. The tools are here. The connectivity is coming. The only question left is, are we brave enough to let go of the old system to make room for the new? Thanks for watching AI Pulse channel. If you are new, follow us and turn on the notification bell for new videos. Let us continue to dive into some specific AI tools that are already being used in classrooms today. For over a century, the classroom has been a place where 30 students listen to one teacher at one pace. If you're too fast, you're bored. If you're too slow, you're lost. But as we sit here in late 2025, that middle-of-the-road approach is officially dead. The revolution is being led by platforms that have turned the one-on-one personal tutor, once a luxury for the elite, into a digital right for everyone. Let's start with Canmigo, the AI pilot from Khan Academy. What makes Canmigo the gold standard of this decade isn't that it's smart, it's that it's Socratic. Most AI bots like ChatGPT will just give you the answer if you ask for the area of a circle. Canmigo won't. Instead, it might ask, do you remember what the relationship is between the radius and the circumference? It mimics a world-class tutor who guides you to the aha moment yourself. In 2025, Canmigo has integrated directly into major platforms like Canvas, meaning it's not just a side app, it's the instructional collaborator sitting right next to the student during their actual schoolwork. But it's not just about math and science. Let's talk about the world's most downloaded education app, Duolingo. With the rollout of Duolingo Max, they've solved the biggest hurdle in language learning, the fear of speaking. Their video call with Lily feature is a game changer. Using high-fidelity AI, you can now have a real-time, unscripted video conversation with an AI character. Lily might be sarcastic or bored, but she reacts to exactly what you say. If you make a mistake, you don't just get a red X. The Explain My Answer feature uses a large language model to give you a personalized breakdown of why that specific grammar rule didn't apply. It's no longer about memorizing, the apple is red. It's about navigating a furniture store or ordering a coffee in a foreign city with a partner that has infinite patience. These platforms are proving that the next decade of education is hyper-personalized. They track your energy points, they know your struggle zones, and they adapt in real time. We're moving from a system where you pass a test with a 70% and move on with 30% of the knowledge missing to a mastery-based system. The AI won't let you move to level 2 until you've truly mastered level 1. This is the democratizing force of the decade. Whether you are in a high-tech school in New York or a rural village in Uganda, as long as you have a 2025-era smartphone, you have access to the same Socratic tutor as the world's elite. But as the students get smarter, what happens to the teachers? There's a massive misconception that AI is here to replace teachers. In reality, AI is here to save them from the administrative abyss. In 2025, the average teacher spends nearly 50% of their time on invisible work, grading, lesson planning, and writing IEPs. This is where the efficiency engines like Magic School AI and Gradescope are changing the game. Magic School AI has become the Swiss Army knife for the modern educator. Imagine needing to create a lesson plan on the French Revolution for a class where 3 students have dyslexia, 5 are English language learners, and 2 are gifted. Manually, that's 3 hours of work. With Magic School's Text Leveler, a teacher can take one historical text and instantly generate 5 versions of it, each tailored to a specific reading level, without losing the core information. They even have a YouTube video question generator that watches a video for the teacher and writes a comprehension quiz in seconds. This isn't cheating, it's reclaiming. It allows the teacher to stop being a content distributor and start being a mentor. When the prep work takes 5 minutes instead of 5 hours, the teacher has the emotional energy to actually talk to their students. But what about the grading bottleneck? This is where Gradescope, now a staple in higher education, comes in. Grading 300 handwritten calculus exams used to take a week. Gradescope's AI uses advanced handwriting recognition to group answers. If 50 students made the exact same mistake on question 4, the AI groups them. The professor grades that group once, provides a single piece of detailed feedback, and the AI applies it to all 50 students instantly. This has reduced grading time by up to 80% in STEM fields. More importantly, it ensures grading equity. The first paper is graded with the same level of fairness and detail as the 300th paper, eliminating the fatigue bias that has plagued education for centuries. Even platforms like Coursera are getting in on this with Coursera Coach. It's an AI that doesn't just help students, it helps authors build courses 87% faster. We are entering an era of just-in-time curriculum. If a new programming language or a new medical discovery happens today, AI platforms can help educators build a verified, graded course on it by next week. These platforms are the backbone of the reimagined global system. They provide the scale that humans alone couldn't achieve. But even with the best tutors and the best tools, there's still a massive wall standing in our way. Accessibility. How do we reach the students the world has traditionally ignored? We've talked about the smart tools and the fast tools. Now, let's talk about the empathetic tools. For millions of students, the barrier to education isn't a lack of intelligence. It's a physical or neurological mismatch with traditional media. In 2025, AI is finally acting as the universal translator for human potential. Take Speechify. What started as a text-to-speech tool for people with dyslexia has evolved into an accessibility ecosystem. In late 2025, Speechify's AI voices are indistinguishable from humans. For a student with ADHD or visual impairments, the ability to turn a 50-page research paper into a high-quality podcast they can listen to while walking, complete with AI-generated summaries and instant explain this concept voice commands, is life-changing. It's moving the burden from the student, who has to adapt to the text, to the software, which adapts to the student. But accessibility isn't just about neurodiversity, it's about language. For decades, if you wanted a world-class education in high-tech fields, you usually had to learn English first. That is a massive knowledge tax on the global south. Platforms like Coursera and Rask.ai are now using AI dubbing and lip-sync technology. In 2025, a lecture recorded at Stanford can be localized into 26 different languages almost instantly. And we're not talking about clunky subtitles. We're talking about the professor's actual voice being cloned and re-rendered in the local language with perfect lip-syncing. This preserves the nuance, the emotion, and the authority of the teacher, making world-class knowledge truly local. When you combine these platforms with a global grid, technologies like Starlink providing high-speed internet to every acre of the planet, the geographic lottery ends. The kid in a rural village now has the same Speechify accessibility tools, the same Canmigo tutor, and the same Coursera localized lectures as a student at an Ivy League school. We are living through the most significant shift in how humans transfer knowledge since the invention of the printing press. These platforms, Canmigo, Duolingo, Magic School, Speechify, are the architects of a new world. They aren't just making school better. They are making learning a continuous, personalized, and global experience. So, which of these platforms are you most excited to try? Or is there an AI tool I missed that's changing your classroom right now? Drop a comment below. If you want a step-by-step tutorial on how to use Magic School AI to automate your lesson planning, let us know in the comment. Thanks for watching, and stay curious. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay ahead of the curve. See you in the future.